Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Murder at Castle Netria expansion is rapidly approaching, but there is still some more Hearthstone to be played in Voyage to the Sunken City, and the meta it keeps evolving still. And in this video I'm going to take a look at the top 10 best decks in the game at the moment. And coming in at number 10 we have a Druid deck on the list. It is Celestial Druid. Personally, I really dislike Celestial Druid, because Celestial Druid is the most polarized deck in the game at the moment. It has three fantastic matchups: Quest Hunter, Quest Priest, and Presto Druid. It is devastatingly good against these three decks. But then it has a lot of weaknesses, like Mech Paladins and Mech Mages and Murloc Shamans and Beast Hunters and Big Spell Mages, and yeah. Celestial Druid super polarized, but people keep playing Presto Druid for some reason. Quest Hunter is super strong at the moment, and even Quest Priest has its fans, so if you meet a lot of these three decks, Celestial Druid can be a precision weapon that you use to target them. And coming in at number 9 is Thief Rogue. And, well, is this really Thief Rogue? Wasn't this just called Boat Rogue earlier? I noticed that Aegis Replay actually had changed their Rogue archetype recognition, and they had now lumped all the Rogue decks under Thief Rogue, basically. So the Rogue decks that are running Asaran Vessels, and the Rogue decks that are running Jackpots and Tess Greymanes are all lumped into the same random mass within Aegis Replay. And that really makes it much more difficult to actually ascertain, like, okay, what is the performance of these Rogue decks in specific circumstances? But be that as it may, the best performing Rogue deck anyway is this one. And I guess I would have called this a Boat Rogue, but nowadays Aegis Replay calls this one a Thief Rogue as well. Anyway, it does have Maestra, and it does have Gnolls, and Maestra and Gnolls, what's there not to like? Coming in at number 8 is the trusty old Mech Mage. Mech Mage has not changed, like the last time Mech Mage changed was when they added Peasant to the deck. I think that was probably in like late May or early June, something like that. And then it's just been the same deck throughout the expansion, like changing decks in the middle of an expansion, overrated, and it is still doing fine. Quest Priest, on the other hand, the 7th best deck in the game at the moment, has lived through some changes. First of all, of course, Quest Priest was not competitive until Prince Renathal arrived, and well, Prince Renathal, 40 cards, 40 health. Quest Priest really likes 40 health. 40 cards doesn't really hurt Quest Priest that much, you just need to have a good spread of various mana costs, so you will still be reasonably likely to find one card of each and complete your quest line and do things. The probably latest addition, Talon Forging, is now pretty ubiquitous in Quest Priest. Meta has been thrown aside, fixing up that mana curve a little bit by adding a 5-drop, cutting a 6-drop. Not much else going on with Quest Priest, still a powerful deck now with the addition of Prince Renathal. And coming in at number 6 is the only really new deck in this list. Well, is it really a new deck if it's like an expansion old deck? Well, be that as it may, Aggro Druid is back. Aggro Druid has now taken over the mantle of the premium aggro deck from Murloc Shaman. Murloc Shaman is still playable, around 50% win rate, but Aggro Druid is doing better. Simple, fast, kill stuff. This is like the reaction to this Renathal meta, just trying to find ways to actually kill those Renathal decks, and Aggro Druid with its minions, whiteboards and buffs can do the job. At number 5 we have Fel Demon Hunter. Still the exact same list of Fel Demon Hunter. After Caria was nerfed, then that was cut. Sillag of the Abyss, Gorgeous Demon Raider, Chase Darkweaver. Chase became ubiquitous in this archetype, and yeah, that's how it goes. Fel Demon Hunter, still a strong deck. As for Big Spell Mage, this Big Spell Mage list was already showcased the last time I made a top video, and it's still the same list, but now we have a little bit more data and it starts to look like maybe, just maybe, running 30 cards in Big Spell Mage is better than running 40 cards in it. But it also depends on the meta. Like 40 cards was really good when it came. People were still playing some of those more aggressive decks that lacked reach. They couldn't actually kill a Big Spell Mage that had 40 health. Now people have moved over to slower decks, and now if you can do a Big Spell Mage that is more consistent as 30 cards, and it doesn't need as much health anymore because there are fewer aggro decks around, so more consistent. You can actually kill those 40 card big spell mages because you get to do your stuff faster and you get to do your stuff more reliably, and now that seems to be the answer. So there's this interesting Renathal anti-Renathal fight going on, where people go for those 40 card decks to defend themselves against aggression, and then when the aggression is gone, then some archetypes can switch over to 30 card decks so that they can actually prey on those 40 card decks because they're less consistent, so you get to do your thing better. Or alternatively, you could just play Mech Paladin. Mech Paladin is good at hunting down those 40 card decks. Mech Paladin hasn't really changed much this time. No Battleground Battlemaster. Battleground Battlemaster kind of comes and goes in this archetype. It was here when there were a lot more 40 health targets. Now some of those are cutting Renathal. Okay, we don't need as much damage anymore, so we're fine. Back again, going back to just this list, and boom. Alongside the return of Aggro Druid, the Beast Hunter is probably the most surprising list to me. Not that Beast Hunter is good, of course Beast Hunter is really good, but that right now it looks like, hey, others are playing with 40 cards, bit inconsistent. What about I just go back to playing 30 cards Beast Hunter and play the aggressive variant with click clockers and K9-trons, and then just have aggression at the start and then carry on with consistency and putting out those threats, and suddenly that 40 health isn't so much now, is it? And then we can actually abuse them having 40 cards and beat them before they get to do enough stuff, and yeah, fun things. Beast Hunter, it's back to 30 cards. 40 cards is still viable. It's still one of the best decks in the game as well, but right now it looks like a 30 card Beast Hunter is actually better. Although when it comes to the best deck in the game, I would still go for Quest Hunter. Quest Hunter is a little bit more polarized than Beast Hunter. Beast Hunter, its wins are smaller, but it really doesn't have any major weaknesses. Whereas Quest Hunter has two major weaknesses, Mech Paladin and Celestial Druid. On the upside, when Quest Hunter is good, it's better than Beast Hunter. So if you don't meet a lot of Mech Paladins, you don't meet a lot of Celestial Druids, Quest Hunter is just really, really strong because it has so many good matchups. Whereas if you meet a lot of Mech Paladins and Celestial Druids, then Beast Hunter could still be a good alternative. Looking at the overall representation in the meta, I would still pick Quest Hunter. And Quest Hunter, well, for Quest Hunter, not going Renathal is not really an option. Quest Hunter is still here in this meta thanks to Prince Renathal. So those are the current top 10 best decks in the game. Some interesting shifts, the return of Aggro Druid, and then this fight between whether certain archetypes go for 40 cards or go for 30 cards, and it really depends on the meta which one is better, but these lists are the strongest ones right now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and check out my Twitch channel.